Hello, I'm David Harris, President of Union College. It's my pleasure to provide this week's update from the Planning for Multiple Tomorrows Working Group. This week we hosted 4 town hall meetings that were attended by hundreds of students, faculty, staff, and parents. We fielded our first campus community survey. The PMT continued to meet daily and heard from campus experts during subgroup meetings. I remain encouraged by the level of interest and participation by our community. I have every confidence that we are one of the places that will identify and implement creative, effective solutions to a vexing set of challenges. Allow me to say a bit more about a couple of recurring points from this week's interactions. First, the survey showed something that was already clear to us. Many in our community are experiencing significant stress. I want to say first and foremost, we hear you and recognize this is not easy. The health and financial risks associated with COVID-19, as well as uncertainty about what comes next, is unsettling for us all. I want you to know that we will announce our fall plans as soon as we can, likely by the end of June. Announcing sooner might reduce the stress associated with uncertainty, but given that information about the effects of COVID-19, the availability of high-quality testing, infection rates, disease spread, and effective ways to prevent spread continue to change on a daily basis, there's a trade-off between deciding soon and deciding well. Wicker Wellness is working with students. We encourage faculty and staff to avail themselves of our Employee Assistant Plan resources. Second, our community wants desperately to return to campus. The survey and town halls reinforce that most do not see online as consistent with our core mission. Online also creates substantial challenges for some students, faculty, and staff, especially those who have young children, lack a quiet workspace at home, have learning differences, or cannot pursue key aspects of their jobs remotely. You want to come back, and we want to see you here. At a personal level, I am eager to resume my private game of concentration, of which I play many rounds every day. Seeing a person walking towards me and trying to match the face with a name, a conversation, an event we shared together. I look forward to resuming this and many other on-campus activities soon. Third, there is general consensus in our community that we cannot return unless it is safe to do so. That does not mean no risk of infection, but rather that the risk is reasonable. Union must prioritize safety as part of our return to campus. The PMT is working hard every day to identify what we can do to make campus as safe as possible. We're looking at ways to reduce the number of people on campus at any given time and to hold classes and gatherings in spaces that enable social distancing. We're thinking creatively about how limited use of online technologies can advance our academic mission, advance our emerging residential curriculum, and sustain community. We're exploring options for housing and dining that will limit the spread of the virus. We're talking with experts on ventilation as part of an effort to make the best and safest use of our facilities. We're also discussing ways to accommodate students, faculty, and staff who are reluctant to return to campus due to their health conditions or those of a family member. We're securing personal protective equipment for our community. These are but a few examples of how we will make a campus that's safe to pursue the residential model. But that's only part of what's required to create an environment that addresses understandable and legitimate safety concerns. This week, I've been thinking a lot about driving and safety. Now, you might think that's odd, and you might think that I should be spending more time thinking about COVID-19 and safety. I assure you I'm thinking about that as well. But stick with me here for a minute. Driving's an activity that involves risk. We all know this, but we usually don't think about it unless there are dangerous conditions. It's at those times that we do at least 3 things. First, we ask if our trip is important, or whether it could wait until conditions improve. Second, we ask if we and our vehicle are prepared for the conditions. All-wheel drive, tires with sufficient tread, windshield washer fluid, sufficient experience with the conditions. Last, we consider who else is on the road and whether they are likely to put us at risk. I'd say that what we do at Union is undoubtedly worth the trip. I'm more sure of that every day as I hear from students, faculty, and staff who want to get back to campus. I'd also say that we'll do everything we can to ensure that the campus is ready for your return. The third part's a shared responsibility. It reminds me of both the Union College Challenge and an article by Atul Gawande in The New Yorker that we discussed this week in the PMT, and that's available on the PMT website. Completing the fall and the year on campus will depend on all of us becoming comfortable with being uncomfortable. It will require prioritizing not only our own health and well-being, but also the health and well-being of every other member of our community. It will require wearing masks when we might prefer not to. It will require not engaging in some group activities that have been important parts of a Union College experience. It will mean abiding by other changes. It will mean providing others in the community with reasons to trust that we are all doing our part to keep the campus safe so that we can resume as many of our traditional activities as soon as conditions will permit. We will be working hard over the coming weeks to refine our plans and share them with the community. We will also be working with our community to begin preparing now for what will be required when we return. As part of that effort, we released a video today on social media with students discussing why they wear masks. Please look for additional messaging in the coming weeks, and please continue becoming comfortable with safe practices. As always, have a safe and joyful day. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks.